Good morning, everybody. We're gonna be playing some more red black. I did change a couple cards. I went ahead and did what we were talking about, playing snow covered basics instead of regular basics. I know it sucks, but there still isn't really, nobody's playing Crack the Ice. Even if they did, it wouldn't be that effective against us because it only hits our basic lands. And if you hit a snow permanent off Ragavan, you really want to have a snow basic in play. And that is mostly relevant for like the Enchantress matchup that plays Onton Ice. I also cut the third Tourach for the third Kolaghan's Command. We were playing 3 Kolaghan's Command earlier. I've been really liking the card Kolaghan's Command in general. 3 can be a bit much, but I feel like this is kind of a list that feels pretty good for the challenge metagame, where you have a lot of artifact hate and then suspend hate in the sideboard too. So I'm feeling pretty happy about the list. We may change a couple things as we go on today. It's also kind of like a deck building construction thing where it's really hard to play all this artifact hate and all this like cascade hate and graveyard hate in the sideboard. But if you main deck the Voidwalkers, you don't have to dedicate like 3 sideboard slots to graveyard hate anymore. You just have it in the main deck, which is pretty nice. But in my opinion, it's more of like a metagame thing. We can keep this. Here, Darcy will find us some lands. The Time Warp. Let's do the Time Warp again. 5 months. Welcome back. Yeah, let's see if we can go 25-0. Dude, Graveyard Kroxa. Maybe a good start, huh? Graveyard Voidwalker. Well, we do need to draw. Lands. We have 5 looks at a land here. They're drawing Unmarked Grave, so definitely a good Voidwalker matchup. And then next turn they're gonna draw another Unmarked Grave. Okay. Do I bolt to my upkeep? How about this? I'll bolt to my upkeep if I don't draw another land. Okay. 6 looks at the land. Oh my gosh. There we go. Golly, that's crazy. We also don't have. Oh, we do have Delerium. Sorry. I guess we keep another land. Can escape Kroxa next turn if we hit with the Ragavan. But if they just go persistent to Unmarked Grave, we're kind of like... I guess I should have waited to crack the Bauble, but we're kind of screwed if they do that. Oh, sorry, Unmarked Grave into persist. Oh, they're playing Cabal Coffers? This card doesn't tap for any mana. Golly. Cabal Coffers, wow. I think we're just gonna get as aggressive as we can and play Darcy and Tourach. Legacy or EDH staple Cabal Coffers making a showing. They also have Urborg. They could have played that last turn. Do we side out our Urborg against the Cabal Coffers deck? No, so we cut it. We're not playing it anymore. Never mind. Is there consideration for seconding Bauble before playing the second one? To get information on their deck? Maybe that's better. Kind of depends on, like, do we want to play around discard spells? All right, turn 4 kill. It's not really a very common thing in this deck. Yeah, we'll see it. We'll see how many matches in a row we can win. We won 10 matches in a row yesterday with this deck. They discard Persist, which is like one of the best cards they could have here. I really know exactly what their hand looked like. Unholy Heat kills Archon. I feel like 3 might be a good number. Maybe we could just play 4 Unholy Heat. Do something like this. I could play an Unearth as well. Unearth is probably fine against their like black-based removal. But I consider that to be the nut draw. I think we would have needed to have like against them like Voidwalker plus Inquisition. Like, I mean, this deck doesn't have, no mid-range or control deck has a specific nut draw. All of your best draws are contextual as to like what your opponent's doing. Like, are you going to need a threat heavy draw or removal heavy draw? to be the best draw possible. And I feel like, you know, like discard spell into Voidwalker is like the best against the Reanimator deck. I'll be right back. I ordered some food that came a bit late. Yeah, and like I was saying, this is the nut draw, discard spell into Voidwalker. Just like as good as it gets against Reanimator, probably. Although if they have 2 unmarked graves, or if they like top deck the unmarked grave, then we can't Voidwalker to stop them from getting a card in the yard. They have 2 brutalities, wow. This is a good hand. We take Liliana. I'm not sure, that was a good hand. They suspend Profane Tutor, it's cool. I think that I'm probably just supposed to trade Voidwalker for the first brutality here, and then like Kolaghan's commanded back if they don't escalate. They drew Inquisition of Kozilek. They might not have a 3rd land here, but surely they would cast Brutality over Inquisition here, right? Oh no, there's no straw. Good morning, Arcade. Good morning, everybody. I take my Kolaghan's command, and they don't cast the Brutality. Interesting. So we know that they have 2 collective brutalities in their hand. I guess I'll just Inquisition both of them. Draw a land, we get to kick Tourach. Well, I was looking to see if the straw fell out of the bag or something, right? Right? I was opening the bag, it wasn't in the bag, maybe it fell on the floor. Maybe it's in this bag. Nope, no straw. Oops. Alright, draw land. Game's kind of over. Didn't draw land. Game is continuing. My opponent's hand is Damnation and then whatever they tutored, which is probably Unmarked Grave, right? Tax 2 months, welcome back. Appreciate ya. They tutored a Sundering Titan? How in the world was this the card to tutor? I don't know, whatever. I think I'm gonna Voidwalker instead of Lurrus. Oh, they tutored coffers? Oh, maybe they did tutor coffers. I don't really think that that was something they could do, but that they would do, but maybe you're right. They have a 2nd Damnation. They have a Grave Titan. Kind of a cute card. Let me just you know, kill it for 1 mana. It is cool that they get that coffers is like just helping them hard cast. Probably want to set up for Kroxa next turn. Oh, right. Right. I almost forgot about Voidwalker. Voidwalker's good ability. Got confidence boost for Fear Side. Take a look at that. This has been a slaughter, jeez. Yeah, Voidwalker casts the spell for free. It's crazy. There's definitely synergy there, right? There's definitely synergy. We can maybe keep this. We have a Darcy. How bad could it be? I think I'm gonna lead on Darcy this way. If they play something I can Unholy Heat, I get to go Thoughtseize plus Unholy Heat, where if I play Thoughtseize on turn 1, I can't double spell on turn 2. Is the hash brown known the best McDonald's menu item? Maybe. It's very good in my opinion. So here, if we can, well, I guess they're gonna hold maybe a 0 mana creature. The Thoughtseize. Then we have so much artifact hate in our sideboard. I'm, feeling somewhat happy about this matchup. They have 2 Ornithopters. Make a construct with next turn. That stinks. I guess I'll take one of them. Next turn we get Delerium with Kroxa, the Bloodstained Mire, and the Unholy Heat, but the Unholy Heat won't necessarily have Delerium to kill the construct. Let's see, they'll have 3 artifacts after we kill this, so it blocks the Ragavan. What dash into Ragavan then Thoughtseize? I really think you just want to get the Ragavan in play, and that's in these kind of spots. I think people dash Ragavan too aggressively. Like you just have to you sink the mana into Ragavan and get in the future. While now Ragavan might just be able to get in and get you some mana and some cards. Not that you never dash Ragavan, but I feel like you're not usually going to be looking to do it on turn 2. Let's graveyard that. Any land, sorry, any fetch land lets us escape Kroxa. Hey Jim, is this deck busted? Should you play in the 5K tomorrow? This deck's really, really good. I think it's like very good against the general meta game. I saw that there is like the Insight 5K. I'm not sure if I'm going to play in that. Just kind of as an aside. But I would recommend the deck. Yeah, I know I'm going to at least play the tournament, the challenge tomorrow. I might double queue. We'll see. Was there a benefit doing this pre-combat versus Heat the Construct? Well, the only way that the Heat does not definitely have Delirium unless we surveil an artifact or an instant into the graveyard. That's the only way the Unholy Heat has Delirium here. So sure we can kill the construct if we hit Delirium, which is maybe what we need to do here. But I think just like maybe trying to race is better. Alright, so let's attack with both here. And they'll block by Ragavan, and then we can escape Kroxa. And die on the crackback, actually. Escape Kroxa. I guess we chump block. Pretty bad. I think we're just pretty dead. Let's go to game 2, where we get to bring in 4 Shattering Spree. And an Unholy Heat, and the Explosives. And the Alpine Moons. I think you're supposed to be super prepared for these Saga decks, because the Saga decks are really good against the fair decks, and then the unfair, big mana combo decks are good against the Saga decks. So if you're a fair deck, the Saga decks are kind of your natural predator, and I think it's good to have hate against them. We could play Void Mirror. I haven't tested the card in the matchup. It's probably not that good. But it might not be that bad either. I think 3 discard spells feels good. Yeah, Chalice is probably good on the play. Although it stops our own baubles. Yeah, but Chalice is probably good on the play. We can play the first Tourach, the third Kroxa. Drum gets around it. Yeah, it still stops some of their affinity cards. But I agree, it's probably not all that good. We can maybe just try one. Let's just try one on the play. Weird hand. 10 is literally all sideboard cards and a Darcy. I think we're probably supposed to keep. We can maybe surveil with the Alpine Moons if we miss on lands. Or maybe I'll actually go Darcy EE on 0 on turn 1, just looking for that second land. Probably pretty good. There we go. Easy keep. Yeah, these cards are mostly for the Cascade matchup, and then you can also bring this in against E-Tron, maybe against like a Bring to Light deck. So I'm casting Void Mirror. I'll graveyard the Ragavan. It's another card type for Darcy, and remember you cannot Shattering Spree the bridges. They're indestructible. Doing well, Bell. How are you doing today? Did I see the banned devoted Druid deck from recent deck dump? I did not know. I didn't go through the most recent one. This is gonna be pretty good. I'll keep a Shattering Spree on top. I'll name Urza's Saga. Urza's Saga, less scary. This is kind of what I mean when it's like, this is kind of what I mean when it's, I'm talking about these Saga decks being very soft to hate, where it's like, when you talk about like a really strong card like Uro, it didn't really matter what your card against Uro was, because, you know, if you're surgical extracting the Uros, they still got to draw a card, gain 3 life, put a land into play. Weren't very many cards that were good against Uro. There are cards that crush Urza Saga. This is 1 mana to destroy all Urza Saga for the rest of the game, you know? Just Lurrus here. Yeah, I was just thinking that we could Alpine Moon one of their lands, I think Shattering Spree, but maybe it's good to wait to see if they play a second copy of one of these. Here, I have 3 Shattering Sprees in my hands, so I'll just go ahead and build the 2 artifacts we can. If everyone plays cards that counter, it's still format warping. It can be, yeah. It definitely can be. There's definitely like a line that it can be like, if everybody has to play hate for something, it definitely could be an unhealthy card for the format. But there's also like, in my opinion, you know, usually when a card is unhealthy for a format is when everybody's playing hate for it, and then a card is still super dominant. And it's just not clear to me that if everybody's packing Alpine Moons, Urza Saga is going to be a place you want to be. Doc, 16 month. Happy sub-anniversary. Hell yeah. Welcome back. But time will tell, of course. Time will tell. Do I want to play this on 0? Maybe. I guess I'll just go Alpine Moon, Razortide Bridge. Which is not something I thought I'd be doing today. And then we don't need to Chalice on 0 because we just have the Void Mirror in play, so yeah, exactly. Okay. I do think I don't want the Void Mirror or the Chalice on the draw. That was dirty. I also just bring in like the 4th Inquisition, 3rd Kroxa. When you catch it for deck 6, sorry. I'm kind of multitasking with Eaton and stuff. Where was the... Okay, there we go. Okay, reanimate artifact and creatures. I don't really feel like this is a good Urza Saga deck. Alright, gonna keep this. Yeah, I'm not sure that this is a good Urza Saga deck. This is like... I do see what you're doing. It is cool. You're getting back, you know, Godfarer's gift, filling up your graveyard, but it feels like, you know, one, your mana requirements are pretty difficult. With Esper Sentinel, with white mana on turn 1, double red for Seasoned Pyromancer, and then black mana as well for some early plays. But maybe a bit worried about that. I'm gonna Lightning Bolt over Unholy Heat because they have those 4/4s in their deck. I do think you just want to kill their Ornithopters in spot like this to reduce their affinity to like buy time to have a big Shattering Spree. Yeah, I feel like I probably just wouldn't be on these sagas, to be honest with you. Not sure exactly what I'd be wanting to play instead, I guess. Could dash the Ragavan. Yeah, Ragavan's not getting in next turn because of the saga, and then this gives me another potential Shattering Spree. So I didn't draw an Alpine Moon. Disenchant? Oh no, and I don't even have the extra land. Disaster. Yeah, so I feel like I just probably would not be on the Urza Sagas at all in this deck, and then, you know, that really, also you cannot tutor Urza Saga with Chalice of the Void. I see that this is a one of. One card that might be really good in this deck is Goblin Engineer. Goblin Engineer entombs your God Pharaoh's Gift. That could be something worth trying. I think I'm gonna dash Monkey and then Unholy Heat the construct. Oh, it's a 3/3. Oh yeah, I didn't count the I just didn't count the bridge there. That was my mistake. Hard to do the deck tech, play the game sometimes. Alright, I think those are my main thoughts. Thank goodness we have Shattering Spree to compensate for our mistakes, I suppose. Relic of Progenitus. Guess we'll exile the Bolt because we have another instant in our hand. 4 artifacts, islands, 5 artifacts. We can destroy all 5 of them. It looks like we're gonna leave them with the Springleaf Drum, probably. Replicate 4 times. There's the line Luster, which is cast Monkey. 1, 2, 3. Just E on 0. I don't know that I agree. Maybe you're right. Yeah, it was worse Vandablast here. They're playing Emery? Emery plus Thought Monitor is crazy. Full Saw, 10 months, welcome back. Monkey, hell yeah. You think that Kotal is still good to play in Snowblade Control? It's fine, but it's also not like Kotal is one of the best cards in Modern or anything at the moment. Yeah, Clever Lumimancer plus Shattering Spree definitely is combo. Maybe another good reason to play that red-white prowess deck we've been talking about. So, I suppose... Oh, we can't explosives on 3. That'd be so good if we had a basic here, though. Yeah, this doesn't feel great, but I think we have to go... Explosives on 1, get them off of Metalcraft. No, I keep thinking that these bridges aren't artifacts. I guess I'm just not used to playing against them. Sorry, guys. Just throwing away some value. Well, how do we beat Eth's Champion? I guess we can just lifelink. I just keep thinking that these aren't artifacts. Just not used to playing against them. Well, it's not. I don't think it's GG because we have Lurrus, lifelink, and race. They thought cast, Ornithopter, Thought Monitor. Man, their deck is so grindy. No, we don't. No, I don't think you want to play the Triome to EE on 3. You might want to play like an off-color shock land, but in my opinion, the Triome is like tap lands in this deck have a high cost. I think I'm just getting Lurrus in play here. Sorry, but I played this game so badly. We can still win though. They don't have cranial plating. Like Shadowstorm is better against Asmo decks. We said yesterday having the ability to destroy an effect turn 1 is important. Yeah, it's having the ability to kill Cookbook on turn 1 is a huge deal. Yeah, having an ability to kill Cookbook on turn 1 is a huge deal. So the Bloodbraid Marauder has the same problem that Whispers of Emrakul has, in that it is not a card that you're going to be able to cast for full value on turn 2, which is a big problem for your 2-drop. If you're just not able to like cast it to full effect on turn 2, sometimes that card is also not delirious until turn 3. You know, Darcy you can just put into play and it's going to be, you know, getting Delirium over time. Marauder needs Delirium when you cast it, and like if you don't have Darcy plus Bauble plus Marauder, it's just not that likely you're gonna have Delirium. Hey, my opponent mulled to 5. I was expecting to play against like Dredge or Tron. They're just playing a fair deck though. Guess we take the Queller. You know what? No, I think the problem with taking the Queller is that we probably want to bolt the Hierarch, and then we don't get to play Kroxa on turn 2 probably. But if we do this, like we can just save the Lightning Bolt for the Queller. Kolaghan's command kind of embarrassingly good against the Aether Vial here. Discard the Windswept Heath. Their hand is currently Path to Exile, Queller, new card. Brutal. These decks just mulligan so poorly. You don't 5-0 this league? Well, I literally cannot 5-0 this league anymore, so it's been nice for your follow. Or nice to have your follow while I had it. Is Monkey Blade the best Stoneforge Mystic deck these days? I don't know. I've been looking a Bant variant I've been playing that plays Sanctum Prelate and Prismatic Ending. I'm gonna do this. I want to fetch before the Surveil trigger resolves. I've been liking Bans. I've been liking. I was liking Naya, and then I started losing with Naya, so I'm just not sure about that one, I guess. Wait, they probably should have cast Solitude there, right? You have a list for the Bant version. If you type !deck in chat, you'll be able to find it. If you click this, see my stream decker for all my lists, and I might actually be playing some more of that today. Esper Stoneblade is good too. I mean, I think that there are a lot of good Stoneblade variants at the moment, but the best one is just like kind of difficult to figure out, maybe. Right, that was a good series of events for us. Don't think with all these Kolaghan's commands, I don't think we also need the Shattering Sprees. Artifact removal is kind of just at an all-time high in Modern. I think this is maybe just a fine sideboard plan. Don't need to change too much. Put a food engine in Martyr vehicles so we can have a deck called Meals on Wheels. I entrust this task to you, Copred, so I don't have to. Was Waste Not packaged with Inquiry ever a consideration for the deck? I mean, not really a serious one. I've played that deck as like a Dono deck before, but it certainly doesn't seem like the most powerful way to build this deck. Let's keep this, put back a monkey. I was actually probably supposed to bauble myself here. See which land I wanted to play. I'm kind of thrilled though if they cast Path to Exile here. And I'm also really happy to see Breeding Pool, which because that means my opponent is not going to play Auriok Champion this turn. They have an Eladamri's Call on top, which, you know, is a card that isn't bad in these Aether Vial decks. So the card I predict my opponent has is Ice Fang. There's a Darcy on top. Darcy is probably not bad here. I'm gonna go attacking first. If my opponent has Veil of Summer, I would want to kill their Ice Fang before damage, and then be able to cast the Inquisition before they could cast Veil of Summer. And then we can think about using the treasure token to what? They don't have. They just don't have it. I'll cast the Inquisition. Maybe they have Veil. You know, they get a 2-for-1. We get a 2-for-1 here. Kind of unreal. They didn't even. They could have gone for Solitude plus Ephemerate. Now I just get to take the Ephemerate. What the hell? Although I guess I can Lightning Bolt the Ephemerate if I want to. Or Lightning Bolt the Solitude. Yeah, so maybe we take the Eladamri's Call here. To like try to bait them into doing that. But I mean, I would have definitely, or I probably would have Solituded the Ragavan. They really don't realize they don't have Eladamri's Call in their hand anymore. So they just shocked for no reason. Oh my gosh, opponent. In your Esper Stoneblade, will the spell suite work minus Esper Sentinel if I use Darkslick Shores? Shores is still worse because you're like have Prismatic Ending as a 1-drop instead of the Fatal Push. But if you play Push, yeah. Right, Kolaghan's Command? I think I'll Kolaghan's Command instead of casting Lightning Bolt. I feel like it's a bit more mana efficient here. Maybe could have cast Darcy first. Discard the Vincer, so their hand is now Eternal Witness, Deputy of Detention. Yeah, Kolaghan's Command has been really good lately. Draenith Magistrate. Powerful card. Not quite lucky enough to surveil a Kroxa into the graveyard, unfortunately. But I am lucky enough to draw Lurrus. Deputy was pitched. Oh, I see. No, they pitched Soul Herder. Different cards, same mana cost. So I guess we could have maybe cast Unholy Heat on the Magistrate and killed them here, but also my opponent's super dead. They can never win. Do you even need to kill their 1/3? Well, their 1/3 would stop me from doing this. But yeah, I mean, let's not, you know, nitpick too much, right? This game is unlosable. Don't need to, you know, break apart literally single thing that happens when my opponent has 2 lands and no castable spells. Any major changes from yesterday? Down 1 Tourach. Yeah, that, and then I changed the basics for Snow Basics for Ragavan, which might come up, but probably won't. And then I guess I kept the sideboard the same, but I did think about cutting the 4th Shattering Spree for the 3rd Alpine Moon. One castle. We've been playing one castle, but that's always been in the deck. Valky is spicy, but it's probably not that good. We can keep this. The castle's, you know, a bit awkward unless we draw Swamp. Oh, I hope this is E-Tron so we can bring in Void Mirror. My opponent says, if you turn to Blood Moon me, they won't be happy, but they haven't read Lurrus, I see. I think I'm gonna go Voidwalker plus Darcy. What's my current tier list for the Evoke Mythics? I would say that, you know, only in the context of Modern, I think Endurance is definitely the best in Legacy. In the context of Modern, I think that Fury, Solitude, and Endurance are all very good. Grief is good in Living End and in I guess just in Living End. So I mean, Grief is good too, but while I view the other ones I just mentioned, Endurance, Fury, Solitude, to be like good in like fair strategies. I don't really view Grief to be very good in fair strategies at all. Dude, check this out. I should have done this in my upkeep, but I can bolt the Karn. Then I can Voidwalker the Karn, so that they can't activate their O-Stone. Graveyard Kroxa. Always feels good. We could get Void Mirror. Dude, we get to get game 1 Void Mirror? What the hell? This is absurd. This is one of the best turns I've ever had. Turn 3, Karn, Void Mirror, and red-black. Turn 3, Karn, Void Mirror, game 1, and red-black. Golly. Let's go. This is nuts. This is like one of the biggest blowouts I've ever played. Oh my gosh. This has got to be a screenshot. I can exit out of this, yeah. Oh, I need to pop out the Lurrus too. Oh, whoops. Begin sideboarding, okay. So I don't know if they're Eldrazi-tron or Green-tron. I think I'm still gonna bring in the Void Mirrors. I'm bringing the 4 Thoughtseize. I'm gonna bring in the Alpine Moons. I'm gonna, I believe, cut removal spells. I feel like Shattering Spree to blow up Expedition map is fine. I might play like 1 and play like 1 bolt, maybe 2 bolts. This is good. O-Stone should be Green-tron. Well, they tutored O-Stone with Karn. So I feel like it's still kind of vague, right? Leave 1 Void Mirror in the board. Oh, man. No, I probably should have been brought in the Shattering Spree if they're E-Tron for Chalice. Let me keep this hand, though. Almost certainly Mono Green-tron. I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but it doesn't feel impossible to me that Eldrazi-tron can play. Does not feel impossible to me that Eldrazi-tron can just play Oblivion Stone in the sideboard, right? So they're going to spend their turn mapping, so I don't think we need to Thoughtseize this turn. I want to bubble myself. Oh, now we have a Voidwalker on top. Yeah, that's a good point too. If they're mono green Tron, their concession, I agree, like probably wouldn't happen. They are green though. They just revealed forest. These Void Mirrors are a lot worse. If they play card minus on monkey, we get to bolt. We actually get to go Voidwalker plus bolt. Next turn. Pretty sure they plus card. I don't know, maybe. I feel like this is like the most likely way for us to win though. If they uptick card, they uptick Karn, you know. We're pretty screwed. But I feel like this gives us the best chance to win. Bolt. I guess I'm just gonna bolt the Ballista now, and probably need to draw like Alpine Moon. Got deck tech for Fisticuff. Yeah, I guess I'll just draw another Thoughtseize here, it's true. We also have game 3. Looks like a maybe updated Rhinos list. I feel like I probably would be playing like the first Bone Crusher. I mean, I think I'd be playing Bone Crushers over Dead Gone in the main deck, and I think I'd be playing like only 2 Subtleties maybe. 3 Gemstone Caverns is kind of a lot, but you know, I guess it maybe depends on how lucky you're feeling. I feel like you want more Disputes in the sideboard too. I feel like Disputes are a really important sideboard card. Like I was liking 4, just like the counter spells can be a bit awkward if you don't have the full 4, but those matchups get really good if you do. I guess I'll play this. Surveil. And then I'll go ahead and crack it just in case they play Karn. And I guess I'll Voidwalker instead of Lurrus. Sure. How are we in this game? My opponent's like Ballisted and Karn and Hatron. I don't think I have too many other notes. I do think that this is the better version. Just play 12 Rhinos. I think this is the best version. I like the Teferis. Teferi's a good metagame call at the moment. Your green card count for Force of Vigor might be a little low. But just like... So you could play like the Evoke Elemental instead, maybe. Another Ballista, but they can't kill all of my guys. Not this turn, at least. Yeah, Kroxa would have been a really good top deck here. We also... I guess we actually have a mountain we can get with that. We're out of swamps. Maybe we can like surveil Kroxa into the graveyard. I guess that's gonna have to be a start, huh? Play Assault Battery. The Dead Gone to get a higher green count. What does a Assault Battery do? Oh, I've never seen this card before, but you're right. It's a sorcery instead of an instant though, which is a big problem. Tormod's Crypt, interesting. Exile immediately so I can't surveil into the graveyard, and they can also just kill both of my creatures too, of course. Well, let me cast Darcy. Let me surveil. Graveyard. So here they can go block Lurrus, ping both of my creatures, but don't really feel like we have another line. But they don't have Tron anymore. We've got outs. Red Crippling, 10 months. Turn burn, perhaps. Perhaps. No. That's sorry. That's not what we need, right? We need either 1 mana removal or like potentially a green card. Yeah, but Assault Battery definitely interesting to have like green cards for Force of Vigor. Instant speed versus sorcery speed, big problem. They get Blast Zone, I'm assuming. They can't crack it this turn though. Remember, we can dash from the graveyard. See if they get like they get Chalice of the Void. They're gonna Chalice on one. How are we still in this game? How are we just like in this game? Kind of crazy. Any value to casting any of these? There's not, right? Yeah, drawing this land probably means we are not in the game anymore. Can the second moon turn off Blast? So not anymore, but it could have, yeah. We are. Well, we have Kolaghan's commands in our deck, right? If we just drew one of those, we'd be... Oh, they also have a lot of 1-drops in their deck too, right? They have like 12 1-drops in their deck. I don't know. We have a chance. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, need to find Kolaghan's command. We also have a lot of 1-drops in our hand, huh? Can I talk about the Snapcasters? Is it Ragavan deck? Do you think Delver might work as a 2-of if you have 10 1-drops? I don't like Delver of Secrets very much. Snapcaster is also very good in the Counterspell, Archmage's Charm, Lightning Bolt, Expressive Iteration deck. Snapcaster really shines. Alright, let's bring in some Shattering Sprees. I think I want to cut Void Mirrors. Maybe Void Mirror is good on the play. I don't know. Maybe it's just good to test, right? I mean, Shattering Spree is not even that good against them. It does kill Expedition Map, which is a big deal. The Chalice doesn't stop replicate. Chalice doesn't stop the replicate copies. Yeah, Void Mirror is probably fine on the play, right? It's probably fine. Not good, but fine. Let's try this. Kind of worried about the lack of bolts. I keep this though. Oh, this is like Inquisition to Voidwalker Thoughtseize is maybe just game over. Any thoughts of bringing in some Unholy Heats to kill Cairns? Well, I mean, it doesn't even kill it by itself, right? Because Cairn has 7 loyalty if it pluses. No, Cairn has 10 loyalty if it pluses. I mean, you can like combine it with other things, but I think ideally you just aren't gonna have Cairn resolve. Put it most to 6. Yeah, Voidmere does counter your own baubles. They only have Wormcoil Engine as like a big thing for us to Voidwalker, which is not bad, but currently not the best possible. Do you think you could support Black Castle? I have a Black Castle in this deck, yeah. I have one. It's weird, I don't understand. You're the second person today to ask me about adding the Black Castle, but it's in the deck. I'll graveyard that. Alright. Matthew, 23 months. Welcome back, buddy. Appreciate you. It's in the hand now, too. It's in the hand. My opponent ripped Natural Tron, but they only have... Oh, sorry, they already had Natural Tron. We just saw the power plant. They just have the O-Stone to play, though. Which Wormcoil kind of lines up well against. Dismember? Wow. Kind of don't like that Dismember very much. It's like... They're about to kill it with Oblivion Stone, right? I think I'll still play this. Just make them crack the stone. Or the Blast Stone, I guess. Is Monkey Channeler and Rakdos better than Monkey Channeler and Is It? I mean, Channeler is better in this deck because you can surveil Kroxa into the graveyard than it is in Is It. Channeler is better in any deck that has like a crazy powerful card in the graveyard you can surveil, like Arc-like Phoenix or Kroxa or Lava Dart. So yeah, Channeler's better in this deck. I don't know if Monkey is better in this deck or in the blue one. I feel like maybe Monkey's better in the blue deck. Both are good, in both decks though. A deck tech for Korsgaard. Grixis Kiki. Well, I would recommend playing Deceiver Exarch over Pester Mites. There's still like a lot of red decks in the format. It's also like, I know I'm just kind of like a broken record, but it's very difficult for me to, you know, endorse any blue decks that aren't playing Archmage's Charm and Counterspell. I feel like that's just such a great package to have access to, that I would really encourage you to try to build a mana base that has all blue or almost all blue lands so that you can support Counterspell and Archmage's Charm. That's another note I have. I'll also say that how's your mana looking for these Kikis? It's just the triple red is probably going to be very difficult without you probably want to play like 2 Cascade Bluffs. These Blood Moons are super ambitious. I actually feel like they are very unreasonable to include in your deck. I think it's very unreasonable to play Blood Moon in the sideboard of a Grixis deck. I mean, I don't know. I would just really, I mean, Alpine Moon is also like a very good card at the moment, and you just don't need to play Blood Moon, just too ambitious. I don't like Spell Snares in the sideboard. I have no idea what that would be for, but I don't like it very much. I would also recommend playing more Artifact Hate. Artifact Hate is very important at the moment. Again, Snaring Bridge. We have a lot of shatter effects that we can just draw and win. We have 5. Did not draw one here. Alright, I think those are my main notes. Yeah, I feel like also just like if you could make the mana work to play Counterspell and Opt instead of Drowning the Lock and Thoughtscour, I think that would be good for you too. Yeah, I guess really just like the Black Splash in general is probably just not that necessary. Yeah, I feel like the Black Splash in general is not that necessary. Just play Counterspell Charm, Lightning Bolt, and maybe some Unholy Heat. Is there a playable variant of the deck without Monkey? I mean, Monkey's really, really good in the deck. I saw somebody post a list of like a budget version without Monkey in my like Twitter replies that they were doing well with. But Monkey is really, really good. You get a big old Ballista. This may be our last turn to draw either Shattering Spree or Kolaghan's Command. They are scared of that Voidwalker, though. They are real scared of that Voidwalker. Yeah, either Shattering Spree or Kolaghan's Command puts us in good shape. Let's go! Let's go, dude. I don't think that this is lethal because they get to kill my Darcy unless they... Are they not responding to this? They need to respond to the Surveil. They need to respond to the Surveil. Otherwise I can bid something. Okay, they realize. Thoughtseize. Well, that doesn't do anything. So I'm pretty sure we're supposed to just kill Karn. Yeah, well, we can send 1 token at Karn. Hit them for 5. We can send... We have lethal next turn. Oh, we don't have lethal if they blast on my Monkey next turn. Yeah, I guess I'll send one worm at Karn and then the other 2 at them, so I could just attack for lethal. I can't sack my treasure to... Can't sack my treasure. Ab, thank you for Twitch Prime. Appreciate you. It's dash. Well, they can sack the Blast Zone on my next turn to kill the Ragavan after I dash it again. So if I sent these 2 here, my opponent would be at 7, right? Whereas here, I guess they could still sack the... If they go minus... Sack Blast Zone, they're still alive. Oh man, so close. Oh, they get some plus on the treasure. Oh man. Oh, why is my toolbar visible again? I don't know. It's weird. Dash and try to draw a bolt. I sighted out my bolts. Should John X equals 4, then Chalice on 1. Okay, so they can blast on my guy here. We can make them do that. I don't have any lightning bolts on my deck. I sighted them out. But then it's like, I think we actually kill Karn, the Great Creator here. Dash. So can we draw a card of Castle Locthwain first? Dash. 1, 2, 2. We can't castle and cast Tourach. Draw for Kolaghan's commands, but then we can't cast the Tourach as like a lethal attacker next turn with the worm. Maybe we should draw first. It's possible that we don't even want a Ragavan here. Oh, we're definitely gonna Ragavan. Although I guess we'll just like cast Ragavan. Attack card, the Great Creator. Although they've already gotten Worm Coil, they've already gotten Bridge. Okay, command is lethal. I know, but it's not, you know, means we don't get to use our mana perfectly. Creator is way scarier. It is, but like, what can they get though? They could probably get like Sundering Titan. I think we need to get the Creator. Is this my lifelink worm? It is. Very good with my castle. They don't sack the Blast Zone. I was kind of expecting them to. Maybe it's just correct for them to not. They minus on the token. We obviously have to hope that they bricked. I feel like them minusing on the token means they bricked unless they drew another card, but they didn't draw another card and they would have cast it, of course. Okay, so here, castle. No, the Blast Zone not being sacked isn't spooky. They're just like playing around another dash Ragavan. Do not assume your opponent's ghosting when they make a good play. A poor streamer blames the ghosts. Yeah, castle's very good. I think that 2 is too many, but I think the first one's really good. Like, we have all these like Blackcleave cliffs. We have sorcery, creature, land in the graveyard, so we need an instant or an artifact to have Delerium. I guess we cited out a lot of our instants. Also, the lifelink token making our castle a lot better too this game. This is Ugin. Ugin can maybe be beaten by the dashed monkey. They do have another Karn. They're dead if they just have this. They can't have Dismember. We win. Crazy match. That game 1 was absurd. For those of you who weren't here game 1, we were able to lightning bolt a Karn the Great Creator, then cast it off Voidwalker, and then grab a Void Mirror. And my opponent didn't have any green lands in play. I cut the Urborg for the second Graven Cairns. Pretty sure we're supposed to keep this on the play. Urborg and Void. Yeah, oh yeah, that is true that Urborg and Void Mirror is also a nombo for sure. For sure. What did we lose to? We lost to Affinity. I didn't play very well that game. Please forgive. Also, I wasn't going to be able to win either way, though. I think I'm going to cast the Inquisition first. It's just like if they just have too many 2-drops, I'm going to want to cast multiple discard spells. They have double Destiny Spinner and an Abundant Growth. I think I'm just going to go take both spinners. Pass. Not cast the Thoughtseize yet. This matchup has been a bit awkward. I feel like this matchup, they're pretty favored. We have one, though, of course, in the past. But, you know, enchantment decks are definitely good against red-black decks, historically. This is also kind of the main matchup that we've added the snow-covered basics for. That way, if you hit an Ontonice off Ragavan, you can exile their Sanctum Weaver, because they're not going to block Ragavan with Sanctum Weaver. They didn't cast Abundant Harvest or Abundant Growth. Kind of weird. Might be important to just go for Kroxa here. We can go Kroxa plus Thoughtseize this turn. We're still a card away, though. I'm going to cast Voidwalker, Thoughtseize. I might go get a Sigil here. No, let's take that Enchantress's Presence. They just concede? You can draw another Enchantress. Don't you know about the Thoughtseize bug, opponents? You've never heard about the Thoughtseize bug? You can draw another Enchantress's Presence. Opponent never heard of the Thoughtseize bug. Kolaghan's Command's probably our worst card. Yeah, seems pretty good. What kind of rigs did I look into for streaming? Did I go for some gaming level or something with a good modern CPU? I mean, yeah, my priority, I don't like need a crazy... I mean, actually that's not necessarily true. So like the main things I was looking for were like a processor that was like at least like an 8-core processor minimum, and then I really wanted like a nicer graphics card because I used to have the AMD something, and that one was like really bad to encode with when you're streaming. I had a lot of issues with that graphics card streaming on it, so I had to stream on my encode with my CPU, not my GPU, and then that had its own problems where I had to switch to Streamlabs or OBS, which is like maybe the better streaming software, but Streamlabs is definitely better to use, or like it's more user friendly. Like I like the layout of it more. It's, you know, better to look at, and yeah. I think I got a pretty good deal on the new rig. I need to either take up the old one back to the store though, or I haven't had time to like work on the other one and fix it myself. You're having a good hair day? Yeah, actually, this is the first day this week that I've had a bad hair day when I woke up, so I actually had to fix it. But usually I just wake up and it's good. One of my biggest strengths in life. Good hair days. Okay, so my opponent has Sterling Grove, Enchantress's Presence, Solitary Confinement, Ontonice. I don't want to take the Sanctum Weaver. I want to bolt Sanctum Weaver or Unholy Heat. So I think I'll take the Sterling Grove here. Then next turn we can go Bolt Weaver, take their Enchantress's Presence. Yeah, good luck, Mana Symbol. Upgrading your rig is definitely either a very time and costly process, or a very oh, I guess they boarded in, or left in Blood Moon, so I'll be getting some swamps here. It's either cost you a lot of time or cost you a lot of money, of course. This was their draw. They drew another one? Drew a Sprawl. Okay, so let me go basic swamp, Inquisition. Probably taking the Enchantress's Presence. And then do I Thoughtseize? I think I'm gonna save the Thoughtseize and just lightning bolt the Sanctum Weaver, hopefully. Why not heat the Weaver? Sure, whatever. We'll heat the Weaver. That's kind of what I meant to say. Oh, my opponent has since learned about the Thoughtseize bug, I guess. We take the Confinement. So now 12 months. Welcome back. Appreciate ya. Time does pass quickly. Maybe this was worse than leaving them with the Confinement because we just don't have any pressure. This is certainly a losing battle, just like killing their creatures when they have the oh no, I meant to get a mountain here. I cast this, we give them a target for the Onta Nice. I might just back it up soon. Is it worth keeping a hand with no threats and all cap? I mean, triple discard spell is very good against Enchantress. This matchup's kind of bad. We're also all the draw. I think that this hand was maybe a bit of a calculated risk. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Oh, pro white. Yeah, we should have cast it then. We could also like draw a land and kick it and maybe discard the Onta Nice. Obviously, it's wow. I mean, I think this is probably correct for them just to draw 2. I don't know. We just can't beat Enchantress's presence. Not with this hand, at least. I'll play it out, but should I cast the Tourach? I don't know. I feel kind of, you know, damned if we do, damned if we don't. Nobody ever takes the presence. I took the presence. I took the presence with the discard spell. They top decked another one. This is their best card of the matchup for sure. Can't beat 2. Oh yeah, feed the Swarm. Let's go. Yeah, it's the Thoughtseize bug. You never heard of the Thoughtseize bug? Okay, submit. Oh, turn 1 Ragavans, you know, definitely our best start. Hopefully they don't have Onta Nice. I guess if I like bauble them and I see Onta Nice, do I change my line? I don't think so. Animals to 6. Yikes. I'll bauble myself because I have to. Well, maybe Ragavan will let us play Enchantress, huh? Is it worth going for the off-color check just for EE? Maybe. It's actually been like twice this league that we've kind of like wanted to have access to that, but it's also definitely true. It is not free to just play an off-color shock, right? Wow, what a hand. What a hand. Alright, Voidwalker, you got 19 points of damage to do. I really don't think you want to play a Triumph on this deck. Untap lands matter a lot in this deck, right? Untap lands are really, really important. What a draw. I guess we have Chalice. We have explosives though, sorry. Explosives would like maybe get us back into this. They can't Onta Nice this one. Tourach does target, for those of you wondering, too. No, I just really don't think you want to play a Triumph in this deck. Like, you really tap lands in this deck come at a really big cost with such a low curve, and like having all these 1-mana threats. Playing 1 Triumph still means you're playing 1 time of tap lands. Well, yeah, so you're playing 1 Triumph not to like fix your mana in this deck. You're playing 1 Triumph as like a hedge in sideboard games to be able to explosives for 3, which is not going to come up more often. So which is going to be more relevant? Having the ability to E for 3, which is going to come up, but not that often, or you drawing a tap land that in this tap land is going to hurt you, right? Now, in my opinion, it's the bigger problem is the tap land. Dude, this was a super loose to cast the Sprawl in your Enchantress deck. That was that did not seem like the line to me. No, they don't. They should have held that to draw a card with. How popular is Enchantress? Not that popular. Not that popular. It's also like the hate we could play for this deck is like Feed the Swarm, which is not. It's not like you just draw 1 Feed the Swarm and you win the matchup. So it's like you have to play multiple Feed the Swarms. Doesn't seem worth it. Alright, they're dead next turn. Not really too much they can draw. Yeah, you could play Mardu for, you know, or we could play a green land and play, what's the card? Destroy all enchantments. There's a two mana green instant that destroys all enchantments. That card is a safety valve for decks like this. Yeah, back to nature. Well, I thought my opponent's start was so scary. I mean, they didn't get punished for casting their sprawls, but I really think they should have been holding, especially because they have leyline. I can't discard them. All right, so 4-1, losing to Affinity League. Our streak.